Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of Notoriety each week, making sure that you have all of the opportunities marked on your calendar, all of those great entertaining tickets that are coming up just around the corner, and the dates you want to make sure you do not miss. Things happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. I am your host, and each week bringing you, again, any of the entertaining opportunities that's happening right down the road from you. This, of course, is a show for the past 9 years is the broadcast equivalent of all the columns and feature stories you'll read in the flagship Post-Tribune underneath Chicago Tribune Media. So everything's captured right there, chicagotribune.com. We couldn't be here without the generous underwriting and support of our friends at People's Bank, arts advocates Andy and Sue Arnold, and of course Theater at the Center, our home away from home for other stage events and opportunities throughout the year. I am joined here by a special co-host, returning again, Ann Scamerhorn.
Morning, Phil. Morning, Tony.
Morning, or good afternoon or evening, depending on when you're hearing this broadcast. Tony Panek joins us again.
How's it going, everybody?
And we are coming to you live from our Strachan Van Til studios, where you'll see some of the floral arrangements have come from as well in our Hammond studios. Some of you are tuned in through the traditional radio airwaves at 12:30 a.m. Others of you have the added advantage of maybe finding us through your streaming or social media. So you have the cameras that are taking you to our window of the world so you can see our studio. It looks like Easter. So the observance of Lent is just right here in the midst of us as we head into March. We have special guests that are joining us via Zoom, so it's time to do those introductions. And who do we have with us?
Okay, I am more than happy to announce Khary Laurent. He's returning to the show today. He's one of the soloists in the live theater productions
Hello.
The Passion of Christ. And a newcomer, welcome Catherine Mojsiewicz. She plays Mary in the English version of the production.
Good pronunciation there, too, by the way.
Very good. All right. And we're in great company here because both Ann and myself have seen the production at least a couple times. Tony also has seen it.
I have, yes.
It is something of epic proportions. So, Ann, what's that magical date for our friends in Northwest Indiana that they want to mark on the calendar? When is it coming just down the road from us?
Sunday, March 15th. The Polish version will be presented at 1 o'clock p.m., right after the noon Polish Mass at the Carmelite Fathers Monastery, 1628 Ridge Road in Munster, Indiana. The English version will be presented at 4:30 that same day.
And again, it's always kind of a come and get your seat. They accept donations and things, but really there is not a cost that is associated with it, Ann?
No, free will donation, no reservations are necessary, but get there early. They do pack the house.
And what they're doing is they are transforming these sanctuaries of worship, and there are a number of other dates. So, again, our broadcast is going here, there, and everywhere. Take a look and find out more where there could even be another location that could be close to you if you want to see it more than once. But they take the sanctuary of a place of worship, transform it to the telling of the final hours in Christ's life. So you're going to find everything from the Last Supper portrayed to the crucifixion, and again, done in epic proportions. Mm-hmm. Theatrical, professional lighting, professional troupe of actors that are just unbelievably just amazing. And we want to make sure that our guests can give also a website, perhaps, where people could find those other dates and schedules.
Okay, I'm going to turn that over to our guest. I'm not quite,
Sure.
I think it's livetheaterproduction.com, is that correct?
Who would like to take that question?
That's a great question. I'll have to give me a moment to look that up. I'll make sure you have that.
Yeah, because I saw there are a number of dates. We are flashing also the poster, and it has everything listed on there. So, again, folks, if you're tuned in and you're found us through YouTube or your social media streaming, that poster will let you plan, and you can find our dates, including Ann, our closest date right along Ridge Road, which is what date?
Sunday, March 15th.
And so that, again, that's coming up very, very close. So as you're planning your Lenten worship and your plans, you want to make sure you include it. We're flashing a few photos here and there that show, again, the cast that's assembled. Afterwards, they always do a wonderful meet and greet. They talk to folks that's right there in the lobby. You get a chance to be close up. And lots of photo ops as well, right, Ann?
Correct.
How many years have each of you been a part of this?
And you're all over this.
How many years have you folks been a part of this?
Kathy, you can go first.
Well, actually, I can't remember if I started in 2021 or 2022. So we're getting to 4 or 5 years for myself.
I started in 2020, and we had a little bit of a run in 2020 before we actually had to stop. I don't know what happened in 2020. Everything is a blur, but you guys might be familiar.
But this actual performance run, it's got a history to it. It has been happening internationally and around for, I want to say, a couple decades. Is that right?
I think 30 years is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there is
3 decades.
Three decades.
Yes, yes.
It is amazing, and I wanted to say, and I didn't want to overspeak. So to our cast members here, is there theatrical haze and fog, or no? That's you draw the line. There isn't that as a part of the production.
It depends on the location, but for the most part, yes. I think we have done that at Carmelite Shrine.
Yeah. I think so.
I remember it because, I go there for Mass from time to time, midnight Mass and everything, and I was blown away to have that space there, that holy space, kind of transformed into a Broadway-style show. I mean, lights.
Really
you mentioned the lights, the haze, the acting. It's something you got to see.
And the music and the singing, right, Ann?
Yes,
Fantastic.
yes, and we've got 2 of the superstars with us today. I mean, there's excellent soloists. You really feel the emotion.
And can we say I'm telling you, this feels as though it's what I call immersive theater. You are there in the moment. So this is kind of a question that's tricky to answer for either of you, but when people say, oh, is it for all ages, is the answer, well, you know your family and your young ones best, what's too intense and what's not? What is your answer to that, folks?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what we recommend is if you do decide to bring your children, keep them close by. The scenes are very realistic. We do have stage blood. So I think, you said it exactly perfectly. You know your children best. You know whether your children can handle it. You're always welcome to, walk out if it's too much and you think that's best. So
now,
I think that's the best way to put it.
For anybody hearing that question, they say, well, I don't know if my child can sit through a 3-hour epic. It's not 3 hours. What does it clock in at, folks?
1:20. I think it's an hour and 20.
Very good. Very good.
And I think last time we were there, Phil and Ann and I, we were right on the aisle pew, and that's a great spot to have because it's just as took place by the altar. As you see the photo here of Jesus coming down
that's right.
the aisle. I mean, there's interaction there with the people on the ends.
You're a part of the action,
Yes. I think a couple of those Roman soldiers' shields and swords grazed me as they went up and down during that procession. There's Tony Panek, I see, with Pontius Pilate. And I think there's a shot of Ann with one of the high priests as well. I think is in there somewhere. One of the elders and high priests. Yep, chief priests and scribes. And I think there's a photo of me with a Roman soldier that somewhere might have snuck in there as well. Again, all of it is portrayed. Everything is unfolding right there before your very eyes, and it really is. It is something that it's just incredibly and amazing. Once you've been there, I think folks come again. They make it a tradition, don't they, Ann? And we did not have this tradition a year ago, did we?
I think 2 years you folks, one tour you went to Poland, right, instead of coming to Munster?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
correct?
correct?
Yeah, that's 2024.
Okay, and you'll be going to Poland again this year, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, last time we covered the South, and this time we're going to cover Warsaw area.
Okay.
The central area.
So again, we are so fortunate to have this come right here in our own backyard. I've written about it. I've talked to the creator, the woman that created the event for one of the Tribune pieces in the past, and this is just a production and a project that is so near and dear to her own heart, and she has seen it through, including, as was hinted to, the COVID and the pandemic experience timeline that we had, and it's still resurrected, and it is back, and it's here again. And give us our local date so we have it.
Sunday, March 15th at the Carmelite Fathers Monastery, 1628 Ridge Road, Munster, Indiana. 1 o'clock for the Polish production, 4:30 p.m. for the English.
And now to our cast members, can I ask one tough Joan Rivers, Larry King kind of question? Are you ready for it? Okay. over the years, have you done any fine tuning to your costuming because something was just too cumbersome, or it always seemed to catch on a sandal, and so you had to streamline it? The costume designer was great, and you worked together, and you did some modifications over these last 5 to 7 years. Who wants to go first? All right,
I'll
go
go
ahead.
first.
Go
it's
ahead.
funny that you said that, Phil, because I just literally did something 2 days ago. By the way, that website is livetheaterproduction.com, livetheaterproduction.com.
Thank
so
you.
I have holes in my costume that I just put 2 days ago. After all these years, it's been 6 years, and the holes are so the antennas for the microphone, and there's 2 holes, one for the antenna for the microphone that I wear, my head-worn microphone, and then another antenna on the other side for my in-ear monitors that I use, so I can hear everything that's going on around me. And I finally put holes so that it would quit pulling it would stretch the microphone antenna. So I finally put holes so the microphone can stick through. So yes, there has been a modification to my costume.
The same question. Any modifications or changes?
Well, I actually sewed my own costume. So any modifications, I just kind of did, as I created it. We've had to fix some rips and tears and maybe add a little length because,
Sure.
it was a little too short or things like that. I had to re-sew like my headdress, or I had to cut a whole new piece out and sew it because I have to, when I play Mary, obviously there's a ton of stage blood, and in order to get those stains out, I have to soak it in some bleach. And one time I soaked it a little too long, so
And
you
Mary-
had to create a whole new.
But after that,
Yeah.
after that happened, Mary was extra holy, or at least her head
Yeah,
veil
you can
was.
say that.
Well, you're just 2 of the performers, but it's a big ensemble show. Approximately how many people are in that cast?
100.
Wow.
You think of a
Definitely
cast of
over
100
yeah.
musicians, costumes, some traveling set pieces. I know there's lots of props. All of that comes right to your own backyard here for our telling of the Passion of Christ. When is that, Ann?
Sunday, March 15th, Carmelite Father's Monastery, Munster, Indiana, 1 o'clock for the Polish production, 4:30 for English.
And Ann, is that open to everybody and anybody, or no, you have to just be a member of that congregation?
No, open to everybody.
And you can even cross county line roads to come, right?
Absolutely.
It's open to our entire readership. Our producer, does this sound interesting? Something maybe you and the family would come out to, do you think, Adriana? I mean, it is of epic proportions, I'm
It
telling
sounds
you.
really cool, and I'm looking at the photos. And for me, growing up in Catholic school and seeing different productions of this, it never gets uninteresting to me because everybody's production is different.
That's right.
There's never going to be one production that is the same, and I think that's the one thing I really, really enjoy about these kinds of performances is because everybody makes it their own. Sure. And that's the one beautiful thing about religion, spirituality, is because it's not just catered to one individual, it is catered to everyone.
That's right. And they put so much, again, just in the traveling. I know, again, my hat's off to both of you and the entire cast. Traveling is rough, going from city to city, going overseas. In today's world, they make travel even more layered. So doing all that, but I bet the moment you step on whatever that stage is or that altar, that sanctuary, I bet the energy just pops, right? And you're right there in the moment again, correct? Absolutely.
Every single time, yeah.
Absolutely. Ann told me, or little birdie told Ann, or Tony told a little birdie, somewhere along the way, that one of you had an encounter with Rosie O'Donnell once on her daytime talk show. It was very, very popular in its day in the 90s.
Yeah, oh,
remember?
yeah.
Is that true? Who might that be?
That is true. That was I. That was me. Yeah, this was her reboot show that was on the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Oh.
And so when I was driving limousines, she asked me to come onto her show so that I could so I could sing, because she didn't know I sang, and then it was this big surprise, and she made a big thing of it, and she's like, "You're coming on my show." So I had the pleasure of singing on Rosie.
And a fantastic voice too.
It's somewhere buried deep in the internet somewhere.
We're gonna go searching for it for sure. But to do it in English is one thing, but then Polish as well. That's just impressive. I mean, Polish is not an easy language, so it just blows me away.
And even when somebody might,
I love it.
If the English production is jam packed and full, somebody who attends the Polish, incarnation of this, we know what the story is. We know what those moments are. I bet you can still follow that story pretty closely and be just probably as invested. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody on Sunday that told us, because we usually do a Polish and an English in each parish for the most part. And she was telling me that she did happen to come to the Polish one by mistake, but she said that she had seen the English one so many times, and she's so familiar with the passion that it really does translate. All the emotion is there. All of the intent and feeling is prevalent in the production.
And again, this is March the 15th. That's coming just right along the road. I don't know if our producer, did you ever come across the photo with the Roman soldier? Or did Luke delete that on purpose? It was there at one point, but if it's not
Luke,
there, you can imagine, again, the regalia of the costuming. Even the Roman soldiers, you saw the high priest and the chief priests and scribes and elders. Pontius Pilate also adorned. I know there was a photo. I didn't send that over, but myself with Pilate's wife, that she has a key moment, I think, where she's talking about a dream and she interpreted, and she warns her husband and the governor he should have nothing to do with this holy religious man. I'm so excited about this to be right around the corner. Where are you folks right now, on a little bit of break, or no, you're already in another city somewhere getting ready to prep for weekend performances right now?
We're on a break during the week so that folks can get back to work. Most of these are volunteer players, so we have a situation where people can go to work, and then on the weekends we can have this prayer ceremony together and get together to do the passion. There's some awesome video. You were talking about the costuming. There's some video on livetheaterproduction.com where you can see actual shots of the costuming, really good shots of the costuming. And the stuff really rivals like Mel Gibson,
Yes,
film. I was really shocked when I joined the cast to see that.
Yeah. And again, if you go to that website, there are other dates, Chicagoland and beyond, that might be something else here in the Midwest that is closer. Depending on who's hearing this and when you're hearing it, we know that these broadcasts go quite a range. Oh, wait, there it is. There's
Luke got
the
it back.
Roman soldier. Yeah. Thanks for undeleting that, Luke, and sending it over. There it is, exactly. So I can just, again, and again, the key to your costumers, now in this case, some of you mentioned you made your own costumes, but the key to these is they look super heavy with, again, leather and metal, but if the costumer designer is key, they're able to cheat it out, and it's really more lightweight than it looks. I know you guys have been in the costume era and you've lifted things. What's the answer to that? Are they super duper heavy in real life, or no, they've cheated it out to make them look authentic, but they're really more lightweight than you'd expect?
I mean, I think our Roman soldiers definitely do not have it easy. It's heavy. It's real metal. So, yeah, they have quite the job on their hands. I would say the Jewish soldiers, it's a little bit more just leather and probably a lot lighter. But yeah, those Roman soldiers, that stuff's heavy. I have never tried to pick it up, but we've been, brushed by it, if you will, before, and
good workout.
No joke.
No wonder those Roman soldiers are so mean. They're grouchy from that heavy gear that they're carrying as well. Well, we know you've got the rest of your day to go about. We want to one more time, Ann, do our Havana White Roundup here. Give us the key dates and the prices and the times.
The Passion of Christ, presented by Live Theater Production, Sunday, March 15th, 1 p.m. Polish, 4:30 p.m. English at the Carmelite Fathers Monastery, 1628 Ridge Road, Munster, Indiana. For more information, you can call them at 219-838-7111. No reservations are required. Free will offerings will be accepted.
And I think you could say, Phil, you as well, before or after the show, walk those grounds, too, the monastery grounds. I mean, they got shrines and statues, Pope John Paul II statue.
Yes.
You want to take some time to walk the grounds.
I think typically they're open in April, but I do have a call out to the monastery to see if they will be open that day.
But even the shrine, but even the grounds, just in general.
Just
like
stroll the
Yeah,
statue
I don't know if
around,
the
yeah.
grottos will be
grotto,
open, though.
yes,
There
that's
you
what
go.
I was
Yeah, that they might have the gates across, but we're hoping it's going to be great weather no matter what. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And again, it's a labor of love. You work all week, then you got to hop and do traveling on the weekend, and we just always get so excited when we get to see your smiling faces and see you in your garments up there, bringing together really the life passion story that's in all of our hearts and our souls. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll see you right around the corner.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. And as we close here, Ann, because we have our producer here, are there any certain pieces that are a part of our set? For those who are seeing us through social media and for YouTube, any certain pieces that you brought in that you want to bring some highlight? I know there's some special pottery. Is that right?
Okay, that's Mojsiewicz Polish pottery. I got two little rabbits here, and if you take a look at the little bird, it's got a little
She's gonna
Easter.
zoom in there.
Okay,
Yep, good.
little Easter eggs and the little pussy willows, which are symbolic with the Easter baskets in the Polish culture.
Okay.
And I want to especially show this one. This was made by the late Maria Kubas of Poland. She has family in the LaPorte, Indiana area. This was made by the quilling method. It's where you take paper and you tightly roll it into coils with little special instruments. You can make a variety of shapes. But I said, this was just a labor of love, and I think it's quite beautiful.
Takes a lot of time for that, I'm sure.
And when folks come to our space there for the Passion Play, isn't there also a gift shop? I'm not saying that these particular items are for sale there, but is there a gift shop with religious artifacts and pieces?
Yes, there is a gift shop at the Carmelite Fathers Monastery.
Okay. Before we end, we have a couple more things to do, one of which, here's our trivia question. We get points for who could name the title of this famous sculpture. What is it called?
My grandparents had that. I think it was a staple in every Polish grandparent's house, but
Right.
I don't know exactly.
And the famous artist sculptor who did it. And
It's the Pieta.
by
Is it Michelangelo?
Michelangelo. Exactly. All right, there it is. And then lastly, there was one photo that got placed earlier during our broadcast, and we had defined her as being one of the chief priests and scribes, and Evelyn and her daughter certainly could play that part. But if we could put Ann with those two lovely ladies up there, we have a special shout out here. I know that Tony also knows the lovely young lady as well, who's going to have a special birthday coming up there. And that is, Ann, tell us who we have here.
Okay, well, the wonderful, delightful Evelyn Lisek. I call her our Queen of Polonia here in Northwest Indiana. She is going to be 100 years old on March the 11th.
Stolat.
She's got the
Stolat.
black kind of blouse on there, and with her is...
That's immediately seated next to her is her daughter, Carolyn, and that's me in the background. That's at a Opatek with the Salvatorian Fathers back in 2023, I believe, in Maryville.
Evelyn, she's very involved with your Polish groups and societies. The Silver Bell, what is the one group?
Silver Bell. There was the Madame Curie Circle.
There we go,
I mean,
Madame
there
Curie.
was so much she was involved in.
You will see her quite often at our Northwest Indiana Symphony Orchestra concerts. She's usually right there front and center. She's a wonderful arts advocate. And again, just does so much. The actual day of the birthday is when, Ann?
March the 11th.
So we still have a little bit of time coming up here. And depending on when you are tuning in with us, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Today, this broadcast is being stamped on March the 3rd. So Tuesday, March the 3rd. If it's a rebroadcast, you might be here in the afternoon or the evening or so. Ann wished all of you a good morning, and that might be appropriate because maybe you're hearing it in the morning as well earlier. But we're so glad you were a part of our broadcast today. Ann, please come back and join us again anytime.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
Tony
Thank you.
Panek, I know we'll see you again.
Pleasure
as
to
well.
be here.
Thank you to wonderful producer Adriana for being a part of our conversation, and to you, all of our listeners and viewers, for being a part of this edition of Notoriety. I'm your host, Phil Potempa. We wish you well wherever your path might take you, be it morning, afternoon, or evening.
It's gold rush time at Albert's. Oh, looky here! Oh, those are gonna fetch a pretty penny.
But who's gonna buy them from us?
I'll buy that gold from you.